If you think you can't become a project manager because English isn't your first language, I'm here to prove you wrong. 8 years ago, I was shaking and spreading just to make one phone call to a client. Today, I lead meetings with VPs, directors, and C-level executives. English is my third language after Mandarin and Cantonese. And I'm going to show you exactly how I went from being afraid to order food to confidently leading project teams. My name is Damon, and this is my story of breaking through language barriers in the corporate world. I started learning English in grade 4, and even after 10 years of studying it, when I came to Canada 12 years ago, I quickly realized that textbook English is completely different from real-life English. I could read, I could write, but speaking, that was terrifying. I couldn't even order food in restaurants because I was afraid I wouldn't understand the server or they would understand me. Before I graduated with my master's degree, I knew I needed a part-time job to practice my English and dealing with people at a work environment. But I was paralyzed by fear. My girlfriend had a part-time job in Tim Hortons, but I was avoiding to apply because I was terrified of talking to customers and not understanding my coworkers. What if I gave the wrong responses? What if I completely misunderstood what they were saying? This fear was holding me back from basic interactions, let alone thinking about a career in project management. I feel that's all about communication, stakeholder management, and leading cross-functional teams. My first job was an operations analysis, in which most client communication was through email. Even when urgent matters require phone calls, my supervisor or senior colleagues were handled them. I was essentially hiding behind written communication. Then came the day that changed everything. My senior was away and I had to make a phone call to a client, otherwise we'll be late delivering the daily organization report. My manager was incredibly supportive, but that almost made it worse because now I felt the pressure even more. I was shaking the entire time. My shirt was soaked with sweat after just one phone call. But you know what? I did it. The client understood me, I understood them, and the work got done. That was 8 years ago, and it was the beginning of my transformation. As I progressed from analysis to senior to supervisor to manager, each role forced me to communicate more. As a senior, I had to train junior staff and review their work. I started participating in internal meetings. As a supervisor, I led client meetings and coordinating with other departments about complex cases. As a manager, I was providing daily status updates to senior management on major projects, leading conference calls with clients, internal teams, and executives. The real breakthrough came when I moved to a project management role at one of Canada's top banks. They had a video-first culture. Every conference call, they had cameras on. This pushed me even further out of my comfort zone, but it was exactly what I needed. In that role, I spent as 50% of my time in meetings, sprint planning with development teams, stakeholder meetings, SME sections to understand business requirements, coordinating with business transformation teams, etc. I was talking with directors, VP, and external vendors across the entire organization. The transformation was complete, from someone who couldn't order food to someone confidently leading strategic discussion with C-level executives. All happened within 6 years. It sounds like a long time, but you don't really need that long if you're doing it correctly. Just give yourself the time to practice and grow. You will eventually be there. But in order to shorten that time and make the process easier for you, I've got 4 key strategies to share with you. Strategy number 1. Know your stuff. Confidence comes from competence. When you deeply understand your domain, your projects, and your stakeholders' needs, the language becomes secondary. People focus on the value you're providing, not your accent or occasional grammar mistakes. I became an expert in operations, reconciliation processes, and eventually project management methodologies. When you're the go-to person for solutions, people don't care about your pronunciation. Strategy number 2. Embrace imperfection. I stopped trying to sound like a native speaker. Everyone knew I wasn't originally from Canada, and that was okay. In fact, it became an asset. My diverse perspective, coming from a different cultural background, often brought unique insights to problem solving. Your non-native background isn't a weakness, it's a differentiator. Strategy number 3. Slow down and be clear. I learned to speak more slowly. These serve 2 purposes. It made me clearer to understand, and it gave me time to think about what I wanted to say. In project management, clarity is more important than speed. Stakeholders appreciate when you take time to communicate complex ideas clearly rather than rushing through explanations. Strategy number 4. Use visual aids. This is where being a project manager actually helps. We're already used to communicating through project timelines, Gantt charts, process flows, status dashboards, and risk matrix. When words fail, visuals succeed. I started preparing diagrams, charts, and visual representation for important conversations. This not only helped bridge language gaps, but also made me a more effective communicator overall. Here are some practical tips you can implement right away. Before important meetings, you can write down key points you want to make. Practice saying complex terms out loud. Prepare visual aids or slides to support your verbal communication. During conversations, don't be afraid to ask for clarification. Phrases like, "Let me make sure I understand correctly," or "Could you elaborate on that point?" are perfectly professional and show you're engaged. Build your vocabulary strategically. Focus on business and project management terminology first. Learn phrases like project scope, stakeholder alignment, risk mitigation, resource allocation, and project deliverables. Find allies. Identify colleagues who are patient and supportive. These people become your practice partners and advocates. Your language background isn't a barrier to becoming a project manager. It is part of a unique value proposition. The same skills that help you learn multiple languages, patience, persistence, cultural awareness, and adaptability, are exactly what make great project managers. If I can go from being afraid to order food to leading project initiatives and major financial institutions, you can absolutely build the career you want in project management. What's holding you back right now? Drop a comment below and let me know your biggest language-related challenges in your career. I read every comment and often create videos addressing your specific questions. And if this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more content about breaking into project management, especially for those of us who didn't follow the traditional path. Your support helps me create more content for our community. Remember, your voice matters, your perspective is valuable, and your language journey is a strength, not a weakness. Now get out there and start building a project management career you deserve. I will see you in the next video.